Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Myra from Low Carb Love. So today I want to do a little kitchen tour because this is where you're gonna see me from now on. This is where I'm gonna be filming all my recipes for you. I'm gonna be filming all my content here. And I haven't actually shown you like this somewhat remodeled kitchen. So if you haven't been following me for a while, I just bought this house a few months ago, and this kitchen was actually like really dark. It had like black and gray countertops. It looked very, very different. Now it's like a lot brighter. I feel like it feels a lot more me. And I just want to walk you through it because this is where you're going to see me. And if you've been following me for a while, then you might have seen me in different kitchens. Recently, I was at Donnie's house filming because this one was getting remodeled, and the remodeling was I kept it to the bare minimal, like what I needed done to be able to kind of get me through the next year to year and a half. So the plan here is to do like a full kitchen remodel. Now my house sits on a hill. It's on a hill. So if I want to extend this kitchen, because I can't really extend outwards towards like the ocean side because there's like a setback. It's a whole thing with like the city because, believe it or not, where I have dirt back here, there is a river course of the United States of America. Okay, so I can't like expand my house outwards. But because I do live on a hillside, we can actually dig into the hill. So it's gonna be a whole project, and when that comes, then of course I will bring you along. But right now, I just kind of did the small little things, new countertops. I kind of changed out the stove, took out some cabinets. Like this used to be glass. I just wanted it to be like more open. I wanted it to just feel like much more airy, and I feel like I kind of accomplished that. We got a new like farmer's sink. What else do we do? Just kind of changed out knobs. Like I tried to keep things pretty minimum, the cost. What I'm talking about is the cost here because ultimately this is going to get blown completely out. And so I didn't want to invest too much money into something that ultimately is just going to get knocked out, So anyway, so countertops, we took out the glass, we did a new stove, we got a new sink. And then believe it or not, what I ended up doing, which this was my contractor's idea, and I didn't like clean everything out. So don't judge, okay? But this is like all my cups and stuff. What we ended up doing, these doors were actually flipped the other way around, and this was the inside of them. And so he was like, Myra, we can save a lot of money if we just kind of flip them inside out, and then you can change the hardware. And I was like, genius, brilliant. Yes, that's what we're doing. So we ended up doing that actually throughout the whole kitchen, which was great. I initially thought of putting in a new double oven, but oh my gosh, guys, those are like $6,000. I was like, no way. So we're keeping the white for now. They work just fine. So I'm like, ultimately I'm like, if I can make it work for now, why not? And I feel like it just kind of goes, it's white. So we ended up leaving that. I have all my little appliances, just kind of, I don't know. I just kind of like the vibe. Like it feels super cozy. I have like my little coffee bar over here. You already know my cafecito. That's my favorite part of like my entire morning is like making my coffee and just like, I don't know, that first sip is like everything. So this is like my whole little station. I have my sweetener. You already know we are no sugar. So this little guy right here is some stevia. And my mom actually got these for me, so I don't know where these are from. But she likes Truvia. So we have hers, we have both of our sweeteners here. Little cinnamon. So we have just all our little things. Milk frother. This is the Jura, the E6. This was a huge, huge splurge. As a matter of fact, this was a gift. But if you want a like super, super high-end coffee machine, this one, it is on the higher end, but it's for me, it's worth every penny because I use it every single day, multiple times a day. I probably use this machine at least, I would say 3 to 4 times a day just for myself. And then if I make coffees for other people, then, even more so. So anyway, we have that. Now I want to talk to you about my island because this was a whole situation to get it in here. Okay. So when I was at Donnie's, I built a kitchen for a low carb love kitchen out there. It's in the back by the poolside. and it's like a whole studio kitchen. If you've been following me for a while, you might have seen it, or if you follow me on Instagram, I did show that there a few times. I built this island for that kitchen. So this island, I brought it in here. It's huge. Clearly it's so big, like for this little kitchen, but because this is like more of a long kitchen, right? Like this is like, it's a little bit more, you know, like, what is this, like more narrow, but it's like a long kitchen. This thing just so happens to be super wide, but I feel like it's gonna work really well for my videos. Obviously it has the burners here, so I can look at you and cook instead of like cooking back here, right? Where I'm like, have my back turned towards you. So I got it in here. I thought it was gonna be way too big, which it is big, but what I'm gonna do is install some little tires or something to move it around, because it's like I can move it, but it's so hard. Like, you know, it's super heavy because this is like a custom made island. So what we do is when I'm gonna film, we bring it out. So then it's here. And then when I'm not, I'm gonna park it over here in this like little corner of my kitchen. And it works. It also works for like additional counter space and stuff like that. So anyway, not to get all into it, but this, I did do that. And then I love that these have like huge drawers. So I have kind of like a good size spice drawer here. And then I have all my little Ziplocs and everything organized here. So I like that. It just makes things convenient while cooking. And I'll show you, because I am gonna blow this side of the kitchen out, and I'll walk you through that right now, because I feel like that's gonna be such an exciting part of the reno. So I kind of want to show you the vision here. So these double doors, we have this entire wall here, right? So I'm gonna, like in a year and a half, this is what's gonna get blown out. So this will all be completely opened up. And so I have these stairs that come down here. The stairs are gonna go out 5 feet. And this right here this entire area is going to be part of the kitchen. Now you're probably asking yourself like, okay, why are you doing all this, Myra? Like, you know, your house is fine the way it is, and it is, and I'm happy with it, but this is like my forever home. This is like, it's gonna be a labor of love. Like I already knew that going into it. Like I knew, because this house was built in the 80s. So there's a lot of things that need to be done. But right now what I was doing is just making it livable, like where I feel really comfortable and I love it. I feel like my home is like so cozy, and ultimately like I'm gonna be doing things along like over time. There are certain things that I'm gonna do like right now. I'm waiting for the plans to get approved. But like the kitchen is just gonna, I love like the kitchen is like my place. This is where so I wanted to get big. So I want to expand it because I want to host, and I just want to do, I don't know, this is like my forever home. This is like where I want to build all my memories. And so ultimately, like one day I will leave this to Nati when I'm no longer here. I actually looked into it because I wanted to make sure it was like set in stone. And I ended up finding a company online. It's called Trust and Will, where I put it into my will. And I'll leave their information linked in the description below. If you don't have a will or a trust, they actually do all of that. You could do it online, and they're super, super reasonable. Like their will packages start at $199, and those, like if you go in somewhere, they cost thousands of dollars. So they're super, super affordable. I actually reached out to them. They ended up sponsoring this video just for me to share this information with you. So if you don't have one, then definitely look into them. Super trustworthy. So whether you're a homeowner, a parent, or you like just really want to protect your family, this is like a great option, because ultimately it just gives me a peace of mind to know like when the day comes, right? Nobody wants to think about that, but when the day comes, I just want to make sure that like my family is secure. So anyway, I'm going to leave their link in the description below. I'll even put a QR code here on the screen. And if you use my discount code, you can get 20% off on all their plans. Just use TUBE20. It'll be in the description anyway, but TUBE20, and that'll get you the 20% off. So here, this entire area will be part of the kitchen, okay? The entrance, instead of being here, is now going to be out here. So I feel like this is gonna gain, like I'm gonna gain a good amount of space, because ultimately I want a huge island. Like There's no way that Myra cannot have like a huge island when all I do is like, you know, I'm always in the kitchen. Nathi and I are in here. We're baking, we're cooking, we're, you know, doing our thing. And like right now we have to make, you know, like the little counter space that we have work. So that's one of the reasons why this is a big, like, yes, it's going to be a big project, but I think it's going to be totally worth it. So this entire area right here, along with this right here, like this will all end up being part of the kitchen. Okay. Now in here, this wall, so this wall right here, this is actually my powder room. So it's a restroom and all of this is going to get blown out with it. And we're going to change the location of the restroom, which will be into the hillside. Remember how I told you, like, I live on a hillside. So like I have to, if I want to expand, I have to go inward. So the restroom will be into the, like, they're going to have to figure it out. But I already talked to my contractor and that's the way it's going to work out. But I think like this entire area, for this to be open, like just all open space with this, and then that little area that it's going to gain, I feel like it's going to be a good size. Like I'm never going to have like a huge kitchen, but I also don't need like a huge kitchen. I just need to have like the island. I need to have like the space that I need. I don't have a pantry right now. Like this is, let me show you my pantry. This is like my pantry right now. So don't judge. I have like a hot mess right now, but this is what I have to work with. And so I have my garage. In my garage, I have a lot of storage space, thankfully. And so I have a lot of things stored up there, especially like things in bulk. But you know what? Like, I don't know. It makes me feel like, again, it's just like a very cozy, chill, you know, vibe in here, and I really love it. I do. I like the feel. I don't mind it. Yes, I wish I had a walk-in pantry, of course, which, you know, we'll get there. But for now, I just work with what I have, and I have, you know, I have a little bit. I have enough counter space. I have enough storage space right now just to make us feel comfortable. This little area right here, I was trying to kind of figure out, and I know we have some designers, okay, because on my video with my on the video with my dining room update, I loved all the comments, okay. I actually was sitting there reading them and I was like, oh, should I go back to the dark painting? Because so many of you were huge fans of the darker framed painting in my dining room. So I know we have some designers out there. So if we have some ideas for this little guy right here, please let me know. I actually, again, you know, designing is not my strong suit by no means, but I just kind of, you know, I just got some little flowers, some, you know, these books are from a store here in town that I love. And then I usually have my candle on here, but I moved it. And another little cutting board. So anyway, let me know what should actually be here. Maybe it's like, I don't know, what could be here? I don't know. I don't know. So anyway, I think this looks good enough for now, but I would love to hear your feedback. And since we're there with the designing, I know we have our designers out there, and you guys have, honestly, you guys had really, really great feedback on that. I have these walls right here. So this right here is what I'm trying to figure out what to do with. So I have this whole wall. I even thought about temporarily doing like a pantry here, like just having one built, but I'm like, do I want to spend that? And you know, it's going to get blown out. Like this whole entire wall is going to get tossed out. So I don't want to like do a custom pantry. But anyway, if you know of something that could go here, maybe some shelving, maybe, I've seen some like these squares. I don't know where I saw them on TikTok or something, where they have like little cubby holes for your mugs. What else? I don't know, but look at this. There's a good amount of space here. So if there is something that you think can go here that is gonna just, I don't know, give us a little oomph, then let me know, because no, I really appreciated that. I was like, oh my God, like, you guys were talking about changing out the painting and putting like a big mirror. And I was like, oh, why didn't I think of that? That would have totally like brought in the ocean, right? Because like, and made the room look bigger, because, you know, my space is I don't have a lot of space, but you know, we're making do with what we have. And yeah, I think ultimately I'm pretty proud of how far we've come. So I've been here going on 4 months now. Time's time flies. It's so crazy. Yeah, and I'll do an update once we're done with the decks. We are doing a little fun project over there, and I'm doing that. It is a bigger project, but that is gonna stay. Like, that's gonna be forever. So I'm like, sure, let's do that now. Why wait, you know? But yeah, that's a whole hot mess. Had to hire an attorney. It's It's been a ride. It's been a fun ride so far. But anyway, I enjoy sharing it with you. You know, I feel like you come along with me on the ride. You've been with me. I don't know how long you've actually been with me, but I've been here on YouTube now since 2020. Isn't that crazy? I can't even believe it. Like, even saying that makes me think like, wow, that's so nuts. But anyway, this is where we're at. We are in 2026. We have this year ahead of us. There's a lot of things that are going to be, a lot of things that are going to change. We have a lot of projects. We have just a lot going on. And I just can't wait to share it with you. I love to share it with you. I feel like, I don't know, I hope that you enjoy, just coming along for the ride and just getting these little updates. So here we are. This is where I will be filming. This is where you're going to see all the magic happen. All right, guys. So I hope you enjoyed my little kitchen update. I know that it's taken a little bit of some time to get this house put together. I don't know if it will ever finish, but I feel like this was a pretty big job in here. Even though I tried to keep it to the bare minimum, I feel like it's a huge change, and I love it. I think it just looks great. So let me know your thoughts. Let me know if there is something that like you see around, like, oh, Myra, you should put curtains, or you should do this or that, because I'm definitely open to ideas. Okay. Oh, and I do have a runner. I have a runner that goes in here once I put the island back, and it looks so cute. I feel like it makes it look super cozy. But I want your thoughts. Let me know. Comment down below. And yeah, I will see you on my next video. But thank you so much for being here. I really do love you, and I appreciate you following along and just being here for all the love and support. So thanks again, and I will see you on my next video. Mwah.